I grew up worshipping my father, the king, believing his power and wisdom were unmatched. But behind his gilded throne lay cruelty, fear, and secrets that destroyed anyone who dared speak the truth. I watched innocent lives shattered, friends broken, and even family suffer under his wrath. When I discovered the depths of his corruption, I realized survival wasn't enough. I had to act. With whispers, secrets, and courage, I watched the tyrant's empire crumble from within. This is my story of betrayal, revenge, and the haunting cost of justice in a kingdom ruled by fear. I stepped quietly into the throne room, my boots barely whispering against the marble floor. "Father, the morning council awaits," I said, bowing just enough to show respect. The king's eyes flicked to me, sharp as a blade. "Ah, my son," he said, smiling, but it didn't reach his eyes. "You watch too closely. Do you think all that matters is what you see?" I hesitated. "No, father." He waved a hand. "Enough." "Marcus, watching news?" Marcus, my closest friend, leaned toward me and whispered, "Stay sharp. Something's off today." I nodded subtly, tension curling in my chest. The council was a theater, each noble pretending loyalty while hiding daggers in their smiles. "Sir Edwin," the king barked suddenly, slamming his fist on the table, "why do you linger? Speak your counsel." The old man shuffled, bowing. "Your Majesty, I believe the new trade agreements." Silence. The king's voice thundered, echoing through the hall. "You always have a mouth, Edwin, yet never a backbone." "Guards." Two soldiers grabbed him by the arms. "Father, that's—" I began, but he cut me off. "Quiet, boy. This is governance." I watched in horror as Edwin was shoved to his knees, forced to apologize for his honesty. "Forgive me, Your Majesty," Edwin stammered, sweat on his brow. Marcus muttered, low enough only for me, "This isn't justice. It's cruelty." I swallowed, heart pounding. I know. The king's temper shifted suddenly, a practiced smile spreading over his face. "Enough gloom. My son, join me for the feast tonight. You'll learn that a smile can hide many things." I forced a nod, my stomach twisting. "Yes, father." After the council dispersed, I followed Marcus into a shadowed corridor. "Do you ever wonder," I whispered, if he's truly evil?" Marcus glanced around, then whispered back, "I wonder if he's human at all. I've seen his kindness once, maybe twice. The rest? Fear." I clenched my fist. I admired him once. I wanted to be like him. But now, my voice faltered. "I don't know what to believe." A soft sound echoed from the servant's wing. I peeked around a corner and saw a young boy tremble as a guard shoved him to the floor. His crime? Dropping a tray. My chest tightened. "Marcus, did you see that?" He nodded grimly. "Yes. And remember this, power reveals true character. Sometimes the truth is ugly." I hid deeper in the shadows, silent, trying to process the man I had called my father. My thoughts twisted. Who is he really? And who am I if I follow him? I swallowed hard, my pulse racing, and whispered to myself, I need to see more, understand more, before I choose. The morning air smelled of damp stone and smoke from the kitchens. I met Marcus near the training yard. "Did you sleep?" I asked, though my throat felt dry. Marcus shook his head. "How could I? Last night, the way father treated Edwin," his jaw tightened. "It's not just cruelty anymore. It's obsession." I ran a hand through my hair. I keep thinking, maybe he always hated truth. Maybe loyalty is just a word to him. "Then why does he smile at you?" Marcus asked quietly. "He knows you watch. He tests you." I wanted to argue, but my stomach sank. Maybe he's just smart enough to hide it. But it won't last. By midday we were summoned to the council again. The tension hit me before I even entered. Lord Edwin was gone. Rumors whispered that he had been stripped of his titles and sent to the outer keeps. I felt a pang of guilt. "Father, must he suffer so?" I asked under my breath. Marcus glanced at me, eyes shadowed. "We can't stop it. Not yet." The king appeared, regal as ever. "Ah, my son Marcus. Sit. Tell me, what have you observed of the kingdom?" I swallowed. "Father, I notice many are afraid to speak openly. Even honest counsel seems dangerous." He laughed, a low, dangerous sound. "Ah, clever boy. Fear is a tool, and tools are meant to be used wisely. Do not mistake it for hatred. Fear can protect, teach, even bond." Marcus muttered, "Bond through terror," but I ignored him, trying to focus on my father's eyes. They were sharp, calculating, unreadable. Later, I wandered into the northern hall and saw Iris for the first time. She carried a tray of scrolls, glancing nervously around. You are the prince, yes?" she asked. "Yes," I said. "And you are?" "Iris." "I notice things. Things others ignore." She hesitated. "If you want to know the truth about the kingdom, I could help." I frowned. "The truth? Are you certain?" She nodded. "I've seen how Father hides his actions. The people, the taxes, the punishments, all of it. I can show you if you're ready." I looked at her, pulse quickening. I need to know. But can I trust you?" Her gaze met mine, steady and calm. "Trust is earned. But you are observant. That counts." We spoke for a few moments longer, quietly, as I felt the weight of responsibility settle on my shoulders. The king could not be allowed to continue unchecked. But even saying the words in my mind made me shiver. Later Marcus found me. "Iris?" he asked. "She's brave to approach you like that." "She's more than brave," I admitted. "She sees the cracks. The rot." Marcus frowned. "Then be careful. One wrong move and Father notices. One wrong step," his voice dropped. "And it could be the end for both of us." I clenched my fist, staring at the stone floor. "I can't let him win." "I won't. But what if I fail? What if everything I do just backfires?" Marcus placed a hand on my shoulder. "Then we rise again. Together. You and me. But remember, the first betrayal cuts deepest." I nodded, shivering despite the warmth of the sun. "Yes, first betrayal cuts deepest." As I retreated to my chambers that evening, I thought of Edwin, of the trembling boy yesterday, of Iris and her steady gaze. My world had changed. The court was no longer a home, it was a trap. And I had just realized I was already inside. The halls smelled of candle wax and dust. I moved quietly, listening for any signs of the king's attention. Marcus met me near the northern wing. "Something's wrong," I whispered. "I can feel it." He nodded, scanning the corridor. "Princess Althea. She's in danger. Father accused her of treason yesterday. I overheard the guards. She's being exiled at dawn." My stomach dropped. "Exiled? But she's innocent." "I know," Marcus said grimly. "But innocence doesn't matter to him." I clenched my fist. "We have to do something. She's family." Marcus shook his head. "Not openly. You know what happens if you defy him." I swallowed. "Then we act quietly. We expose him, somehow." We crept to the outer courtyard where a group of guards stood near a carriage. I spotted Althea, pale and trembling, clutching a small bundle. She looked up and caught my gaze. "Brother," she whispered, "don't let him destroy me." "I won't," I said, my voice catching. "I promise. We'll find a way." One guard noticed me. "Hey, what are you doing here?" Marcus stepped forward. "Just taking a walk, sir. Nothing to see." The guard frowned but stepped back. I exhaled slowly. "We need more than words," I muttered to Marcus. Later we met Iris in the shadows. "You want to save her?" she asked, voice low. "I have information. Father's secrets. The punishments, the hidden deals, the tax records he keeps from the council. We can use them to weaken him." I glanced at Marcus. "Do you trust her?" Marcus shrugged. "We don't have a choice. But careful. One misstep and he'll know." Iris handed me a scroll. "Study this. You'll see the truth. The cracks in his kingdom. But don't underestimate him. He's clever, dangerous." "I understand," I said. "I need to know everything. Every lie, every secret." Marcus muttered, "Every step counts. One wrong move and you're done." I nodded, feeling the weight of responsibility crushing my chest. "I won't fail," I said. "I can't." As we parted, I wandered toward the eastern towers and caught a glimpse of a young servant boy, trembling as a guard shouted at him for spilling water. The boy's face reminded me of Edwin, of Althea, of everyone Father had punished without reason. I whispered under my breath, "How many more? How many must suffer before he is stopped?" Marcus appeared at my side. "We move carefully," he said. "We strike smart, not fast. That's the only way." I clenched the scroll in my hands, thinking of Althea, Edwin, the trembling boy, and the countless others. "I will find a way. I have to. For them, and for me." Marcus placed a hand on my shoulder. "Then let's begin. Slowly. Quietly. But we begin." I nodded, heart pounding. "Yes, we begin. Father won't see it coming." The shadows swallowed us as we walked away from the courtyard. Every step felt heavier than the last, and I realized that once the wheels of betrayal begin to turn, nothing can stop them. Not even the king himself. I couldn't sleep that night. The scroll from Iris burned in my hands, every word a reminder of father's corruption. Marcus paced beside me. "You've read it?" he asked. "I've memorized it," I admitted. "The taxes, the punishments, the secret executions, it's worse than I imagined." Marcus frowned. "Then what do you want to do? Openly accuse him?" I shook my head. "No, not yet. We can't survive that. We act subtly. Plant doubts, whisper truths, make the court see him as he really is." "You're talking about betrayal," Marcus said quietly, eyes dark. "Do you realize what that means?" "I do," I said, gripping my hands together. "But I've seen him destroy innocent people. I've seen Edwin suffer. I won't let that continue." We met Iris again the next morning. "You've decided," she said. "Good. But you must know, one wrong step and he'll notice." "He notices everything." "I know," I said. "I'm ready." She smiled faintly. "Then follow my instructions carefully. Spread the truth about his misdeeds. A noble here, a servant there. Watch his fear and doubt grow." I turned to Marcus. "We do this together?" He nodded. "Together. But carefully. Father is cunning." I spent the next days subtly influencing court members, sharing small truths, carefully hinting at father's corruption. At first nothing happened. Then whispers began. Nobles questioned his orders, servants refused to obey senseless commands. Each time I felt a rush of satisfaction and guilt. One evening Sir Gideon approached me. "Prince, I heard you've been spreading rumors," he said smoothly. My stomach dropped. I don't know what you mean." He smiled, thin and cruel. "Of course, but be careful. Secrets have a way of reaching ears that shouldn't hear." Marcus appeared beside me, hand on my arm. "He's a traitor," Marcus muttered under his breath. I swallowed hard. I know. That night, father summoned me. "I hear whispers," he said, eyes cold. "Do you think loyalty is so cheap?" I started, but he raised a hand. "I trust you, my son. But trust is fragile. One crack, one misstep." His eyes narrowed. "Do you understand?" "Yes, father," I said, bowing my head. My pulse raced. He knows something. He always knows. After he left, Marcus shook his head. "Gideon betrayed us. He told father everything." I felt the floor drop from beneath me. "Everything?" Marcus nodded grimly. "We need a plan. Now, before he acts." I clenched my fist. "We won't fail. I can't fail. Too many lives, too many innocent people, depend on this." The next day I confronted Iris. "We need more leverage. Something undeniable. Something that will shake the court and father himself." She handed me another set of documents, detailing hidden murders, stolen lands, and corrupt taxes. "This is enough to make them doubt him publicly," she said. I stared at the papers, my heart hammering. "Then we act. Slowly, but decisively. Father won't see it coming." Marcus placed a hand on my shoulder. "Are you ready for what comes next? For the wrath he will unleash?" I nodded, determination hardening inside me. "I am. I have no choice. Justice or revenge will be done. And I will survive it, no matter the cost." That night, I stared at the ceiling, imagining father's face as his kingdom began to crumble from within. I whispered into the dark, "This is only the beginning. And it starts with you, father." I woke to a strange quiet in the castle. The halls no longer buzzed with whispers of fear. Instead, murmurs carried hesitation, doubt. Marcus met me at the entrance to the council room. "It's working," he said, voice low. "The nobles are questioning him. Even his closest allies hesitate now." I frowned. "Do you think it's enough?" "Enough?" Marcus laughed softly. "No. But it's a start. The first cracks appear and cracks grow." Later, I confronted a minor noble, Sir Alaric. "Do you truly believe father acts for the good of the kingdom?" I asked, leaning close, voice hushed. He shifted nervously. I don't know anymore. The taxes, the punishments, it's not right." "Exactly," I said, my pulse racing. "He cannot rule through fear alone. People see the truth if someone shows it to them." I saw the spark of understanding in his eyes. You think we can change him?" I shook my head. "No. Change? Never. But the kingdom can survive without him." Marcus appeared beside me, whispering, "Do you hear that?" The whispers are growing louder. We moved through the corridors like shadows, meeting nobles quietly, planting doubt, offering proof of the king's corruption. Each conversation gave me a rush of hope and unease. Later, I watched the king berate a servant for a spilled goblet. "Again?" I muttered under my breath. Even now he cannot control himself. Marcus placed a hand on my shoulder. Patience. Karma works slowly. He will crumble under his own weight. I clenched my fist. I've waited too long to watch innocent people suffer. I can't stand it anymore. But if I act too soon, my voice dropped. I could fail. Iris appeared from the shadows. It's spreading, she said. Nobles are speaking out. Rumors of his cruelty, his secret punishments, the hidden taxes, it reaches everywhere. I nodded. Then we wait for the perfect moment. Let him destroy himself. By evening, a messenger ran to the throne room. Your Majesty, the council, they refuse to sign your decree. I watched the king's face twist in disbelief. Rage. Fear. Pride cracking under the weight of whispers he could no longer silence. Marcus whispered beside me, do you see it? Even his eyes are different. He's losing control. I clenched the scroll in my hands, heart hammering. Good. Let him see the world he created. Let him drown in it. We left before anyone noticed, moving silently through the dark corridors. I thought of Edwin, of Althea, of the trembling boy who spilled the water. They were finally safe, at least for now. Marcus looked at me. Are you ready for the next step? When the cracks become fractures. I swallowed hard. I am. Father will crumble piece by piece. And when he falls, we'll be ready. Karma is finally catching him, and I'll witness every moment. I paused in the shadows, letting the cold stone walls press around me. He thought he was untouchable. But nothing lasts forever. Not power. Not fear. Not even him. The castle felt empty that morning, but the air was heavy, thick with tension. I crept through the halls with Marcus at my side. Are you certain the nobles are ready? I whispered. Marcus glanced around, eyes sharp. They're ready. Father's isolation has begun. They only wait for a signal. I nodded. Then we watch, and wait. From a high balcony I saw the king pacing, muttering to himself. How can this happen? I overheard him. I am the king, they cannot betray me. A bitter laugh escaped me. They already have, I whispered. Marcus gripped my shoulder. Careful. He's dangerous. I ignored him, staring as the king flung open doors, calling for his guards. Where is Marcus? Where is Iris? Who dares to conspire against me? I hid behind a tapestry, heart pounding. He doesn't know it's too late. Iris appeared quietly beside me. The evidence is everywhere. The nobles see it. He's trapped in his own web. I nodded. Finally. He will feel what he made others feel. Suddenly, a loyal guard approached the king. Your Majesty, the council refuses your orders. They will not obey. The king's face twisted in disbelief. What? Impossible. Who would betray me? I felt a strange thrill as I whispered to Marcus, this is the moment. Watch him fall. The king ran down the hall, slamming doors, screaming at servants. Traitors? All of you are traitors. Marcus muttered, even now he cannot see who his real enemies are. I watched as the first nobles openly defied him. You cannot command us anymore, one declared. I am the king, he shouted, voice cracking. You will obey. Iris shook her head. It's over. His power is gone. I hid in the shadows, hearing his screams echo through the halls. Guards abandoned him, whispering among themselves. The courtiers turned their backs. His kingdom, once strong, now slipped through his fingers like sand. I clenched my fist. All his cruelty, all his tyranny, and now he stands alone. From a side passage, I saw the king stumble into a dark, damp chamber, the oubliette. Rats scurried at his heels. He screamed, thrashing, but no one came to save him. I whispered under my breath, the worms, you thought you could control everything, even life and death. But now the decay is yours. Marcus shivered. Do you think it's over? I shook my head. No. Justice is never clean. But it begins here. I watched the king collapse to the floor, his body trembling, his mind unraveling. He tried to call for mercy for his guards, for anyone, but the hall was empty. His empire had abandoned him, and nature claimed what his cruelty had earned. I whispered, voice thick with emotion. You thought yourself untouchable. You thought fear made you immortal. But even fear rots, and now you rot alive. Marcus placed a hand on my shoulder. Do you regret it? I hesitated. Regret? Perhaps. But watching him fall, seeing the consequences of his actions, it is necessary. He brought this upon himself. The king screamed one final time, a sound filled with terror, disbelief, and helplessness. Then silence. I exhaled slowly, a mixture of relief and sorrow washing over me. It's done. The tyrant king has rotted in his own folly. Marcus whispered, now the kingdom can breathe again. And so can you. I looked around at the empty hall, the silence pressing in, and finally allowed myself to feel the weight of everything. Yes, we survived, but at a cost. And I will never forget the lessons of power, cruelty, and decay. The castle felt quieter than I ever remembered. The air smelled of smoke and damp stone, but it was calmer now, almost peaceful. Marcus joined me in the courtyard. It's finally over, he said, voice low. The king, he's gone. I nodded, looking at the empty throne, feeling a strange mix of relief and sorrow. Yes, gone. But it doesn't feel simple. Watching him decay like that, it haunts me. Marcus frowned. You did what you had to. Justice isn't clean, you know that. But the kingdom, it survives. I shook my head. Survives, yes. But what about me? Who have I become while watching him fall? Marcus placed a hand on my shoulder. A survivor. Someone who faced the truth. That's not nothing. I sighed. Iris said it best. Secrets, lies, cruelty, all of it could have killed me. And yet here I am. But at what cost? Marcus nodded. You've changed. You can't undo that. But you can decide what comes next. Later, I found Princess Althea in the restored gardens, pale but smiling softly. Brother, she said, voice trembling. I never thought we'd see the court like this, peaceful finally. I smiled faintly. Neither did I. Father was a cruel man. And now he's gone. But we survived. That's what matters. She looked at me with tears in her eyes. And what about you? You carried so much weight. I can see it in your eyes. I swallowed hard. I did what I had to. But it's not over. The memories, the guilt, it stays with me. I feel it every day. Althea reached for my hand. Then let it guide you. Let it remind you what justice is and what cruelty costs. I nodded, squeezing her hand. Yes, I'll try. I have to. For everyone we lost, for everyone who suffered under him. Marcus appeared beside us. We need to rebuild. Not just the kingdom, but ourselves. I looked at him, then at Althea. Yes, rebuild, carefully, wisely. And we must remember the lessons of the past. Fear, power, cruelty, they cannot return. We walked through the gardens in silence, the cold stone beneath our feet grounding us. The sky above seemed clearer somehow, the air lighter. I whispered to myself, the worms devoured him, yes. But they also revealed me. I survived, yet I am not the same. Marcus glanced at me. You'll heal. Slowly, but you will. I hope so, I said, staring at the horizon. I want to believe so. The kingdom is free, and maybe one day so will I. Althea smiled softly. We'll help you, brother. Together. I exhaled slowly, letting the tension in my shoulders ease just a little. Together, I repeated. And for the first time in a long while, I felt the possibility of peace, not complete but enough to breathe again. The castle was quiet, the echoes of cruelty gone. Only memories remained, lessons carved deep into my heart. And as I walked forward with Marcus and Althea by my side, I realized, even in the ashes of tyranny, something new could grow.